the injunction issued by U.S. District Judge David Bunning, the judge says Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis's religious convictions cannot excuse her from performing the duties she took an oath to perform as Rowan County Clerk. The decision affirms the sentiment argued by same-sex marriage advocates, like Fairness Campaign Director Chris Hartman, who says Clerk Davis can have her personal beliefs, but they shouldn't trump her statutory obligations as an elected official.
She gets to continue to have her personal religious beliefs. She should. And in no way does Governor Beshear's order or the Supreme Court's ruling infringe upon her personal religious beliefs versus the duties that she has to carry out in the workplace.
The Family Foundation of Kentucky calls the injunction a disheartening loss for religious freedom advocates. Executive Director Ken Ostrander says he's surprised and saddened by the ruling.
For those that say you ought to believe one thing and do another, they're basically asking the faithful to become hypocrites, and none of us like hypocrites.
In the 28-page order, Judge Bunning writes, it does not seem unreasonable for plaintiffs as Rowan County voters to expect their elected official to perform her statutory assigned duties. And yet, that is precisely what Davis is refusing to do. He later writes, Davis is certainly free to disagree with the court's opinion, as many Americans likely do, but that does not excuse her from complying with it. To hold otherwise would set a dangerous precedent. Davis has already filed an appeal, a move praised by other opponents of the injunction. But supporters of the order say the court has spoken. It's time for Davis to do her job.
If this ruling stands, without doubt, it's a major encroachment on religious freedom and rights of conscience in Kentucky.
And that's not the kind of Kentucky that I live in, and not the kind of Kentucky that most Kentuckians live in and call home, but this is what people are continually trying to put on the national stage, and it's an embarrassment to our entire state.
This injunction comes as Kentucky state legislators continue to prepare for the next legislative session. Several Republicans have already pre-filed bills geared toward protecting the religious rights of preachers and clerks who believe same-sex marriage is morally wrong. State Representative James Tipton of Taylorsville says he anticipates a lot of discussion on this subject going into the session, and he believes legislators will take action.
This is an issue that I believe that tears at the fabric of our society. And we live in a state where there are people that have very strong religious beliefs, and I believe it's going to occupy quite a bit of time, and it's an issue that needs to be addressed and not put off.
Some legislators are also considering a bill that would remove the responsibility of issuing marriage licenses from Kentucky's county clerks to a different government agency.